did a poll on our Instagram today. We asked y'all out there, what YouTube video would you guys like to see next? And we've been doing a lot of the tips. Ron's giving people's tips. We do videos on that, whether it's tech tips, riding tips. And we had a lot of people contacting us and saying, hey Ron, you got to give these kids tips on how to give interviews at the races. So without further ado, Ron's going to give you some tips on how to talk to the media. Because that's one thing that everyone's always said to me, like, oh Ron, you do so well with the people in the media. How do you talk? You look so effortless on the mic. I say it's because I say what I believe in. I say what's in the heart. I'm not trying to mask some or sugarcoat some bullshit. And I understand there can be hard questions that get asked in an interview setting. But that's why you have this video to watch and refer back to. I'd say when it comes to giving a good podium speech or podium interview, there's about 6 or 9 things that you must always remember, but there's not going to be enough time to go over all of them. So I'm just going to kind of go over my 3 most important things to say in interviews, I guess. And, you know, number 1 in an interview setting, and I've seen this happen a few times, people crying during interviews.
A pretty emotional week for me. I mean, I don't want to, you know, I'm not going to go into last weekend. Last weekend is in the past. I'm just focused on this weekend and trying to do that the best that I can. And
guys?
Whether, you know, you just got off the track and you'd won a big race and you're excited and you're happy. I get you're happy, man. And I get it. It's really emotional and that's cool, but men don't fucking cry, man. We just don't. So just don't cry on the podium. No matter how hard you worked, I don't care about what your story is. It just ain't worth it.
That's got to be a really emotional win for you. Tell me a little bit about it.
Oh, you know, everyone's good for me. You know, I've done it so many times by now, I don't really get emotional anymore. So, I guess I'm just too man for that.
Well, listen, there was some really questionable moves out there. I mean, what the heck was going on out there, and what's going on in your mind?
Number 2, always watch for curveballs. And by when I say curveballs, some sports host wants to get all cocky and ask you a shitty question. Like, oh, hey, Ronnie, what happened with that takeout you did earlier on in the race? I see that it's happened quite a few times this year, actually. And the biggest, most effective method that I've seen is just pretending like you don't speak English and nobody really knows what you understand or can even understand you or hear what you're saying. I mean, it seemed to work pretty good for that Ferrando kid or whatever who cleaned out that guy. So
I hurried a little bit too much, I don't know, but he was slowing down kind of fast, and we approached the mid-race or 3/4 of the race, I don't know, and yeah, I tried to move on him, and from my point of view, wasn't that crazy, but obviously we all see what happened, and yeah, I just came with a lot of speed on the finish line.
Eli, I mean, if you look at the ground, like there is no ruts where he's going, so he was making a new line inside, and all main event we were going in the big rut, so I was gonna go inside, and he cut really tight. Anyway, it would have been a block pass, you know, but maybe not that aggressive, and obviously it grabbed his.
When you get thrown a curveball, just play stupid, man. Act like you don't know what you're talking about. Fumble your words a little bit.
And then, obviously, I knew Justin was going to get by me, and then I didn't really know who was back in, like, 3rd or 4th. But then Dylan came and got me, and I was just trying to, like, not... I was trying to not fall all the way down. So I kind of had to get off the bike, and then the bike shot to the left, and if I would have, you know, turned around, I would have been basically facing, like, I would have been...
I like to have a beer on the podium when I'm doing my speech, and that way if somebody asks me a hard question, I can just take a good 6 or 9 second chug, you know? Oh, ask me a hard question. Oops, sorry. Viva la T-Bone. What was that question again? And last but not least, the most important thing in any interview, and you'd see it, plenty of the top athletes, they all thank this person. He's on everybody's team, and that's God. You got to thank the man above on the podium. That's just how it goes, because guess what? Without him, it wouldn't matter about the damn tires on your dirt bike or your engine or your gasoline or your goggles, whatever the hell is going on. Without God, the shit doesn't happen. So he's really the only one you need to thank. And they're like, oh, Ronnie, I tell you what, I really wish you'd mentioned us in a podium speech. I just shut the hell up, dude. I mentioned God. That covers every area. God created all these things. So if you thank God, it falls under the blanket, man. You're thanking everybody. Now that you've thanked God, everybody's under your circle. So, you know, if they got a problem, tell them just to go piss off, man.
Is there any sponsors you want to thank?
Well, yeah, man. Of course, God, man above.
Well, is there anyone else you'd like to thank?
Let me set one thing straight here. The people who sponsor me on my dirt bike or whatever, those are sponsors, you know. God didn't give them the talent to go out there and kick ass like that. So I'm going to say God is the only one I need to thank in this situation. So God, yes, God is my final answer. Thank you. So always remember, folks, take your time. And if you can't take your time, act stupid. Always got to watch for the curveballs, though, man. I was on the podium one time, and I was standing next to one of the trophy girls, and I had her titty in my hand. And the podium announcer looked over me, hey, Ronnie, you can't have that tit in your hand, man. I looked over, and I pointed at some other dickhead that was up there next to me, and he had a Monster Energy in his hand. And I said, well, this guy's carrying around his favorite drink and drinking out of it. Why can't I, you know, titty milk's my favorite drink. Why can't I carry that in my hand? Yeah.